Never miss another fabulous cultural event in Cotacachi just because you can't speak Spanish. In other words, tells you what you need to know about life in Cotacachi and Imbabura. And here is our host, Diego Velez.
Welcome to In Other Words. Today we have a fantastic show. I want to thank all of you who are tuning in and really thank you for listening every week. Today we have a wonderful interview with the director of the National Park in Cochasqui, and there'll be a wonderful interview about the Kichwa people. Muy interesante, the 84 hectares and 130 llamas, and it's really something. So we'll have that in two parts, so stay tuned for that. And so welcome.
Find out about the local events in Cotacachi before they happen on What's Going On.
So first of all, one of the greatest things that's happening tonight, I had the chance to entrevistar un artista, un músico, a wonderful musician from Ibarra, Fernando Baez. He's going to be on the show. I'm going to have him on the show next week. So he's going to be playing tonight at Fábrica Imbabura. If you've never been there, it's at Atuntanqui, 7 p.m. It's going to be a concert there. It's a wonderful theater, un teatro pero hermoso, lindo. So I recommend that you go and check it out. Fábrica Imbabura, Fernando Baez. He's going to be playing some beautiful music. He plays jazz, new age, he plays Ecuadorian music, tango, poco de todo, no? So that's 7 p.m. tonight in Atuntanqui. You can take a bus over there, take a bus, take a taxi. So don't miss that. It's tonight, Friday night, little music, live music. Also, Saturday in Ibarra is Festival de los Lagos a las 3 de la tarde from 3 p.m. till 12 a.m. There'll be a lot of live bands, great food. It'll be in Parque Ciudad Blanca in Ibarra. Starting at 3 o'clock, it's Festival de los Lagos. There's going to be Alquilados, América de Chile, Diablitos de Lobamba, or something like that. I can't even read my own writing. But it's supposed to be really cool in Ibarra. So if you'd like to go over there, there'll be some live music, Festival de los Lagos. Also, I want to let you know about a special event that's coming up. My good friend Milton is taking a trip October 10th to Intag. So if you're interested in going, they'll be leaving San Francisco Plaza in the morning of the 10th, and then going to Intag and going to some fincas and seeing how honey's produced. Always fascinating stuff, having a nice lunch. And so check that out. I'm sure if you're interested, we can get some information to you. The other thing that I'd really like you to check out is also Saturday morning in Otavalo, in el Museo Viviento Otavalengo. And that's at, I believe, 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning to 1 p.m. It's El Kichwa is our life. So it's really about the indigenous culture of the Kichwa pueblo, keeping alive la cultura de los indígenas. And so I think that's a beautiful museum. If you haven't been to that one, it's in la calle es Pedro Perez. So you can find it as El Museo de Viviendo Otavalengo. And I don't think it's hard to find. It's a huge building. It was an old factory at one time. So check that out. I think you'd really like it. And I think there was one other thing I wanted to tell you about. Oh, in Ibarra also, October 6th, which is Saturday, from 8 in the morning to 4 p.m., there's going to be a text, serigrafía, which is basically, an art class they're going to be offering. And that's going to be paper foil, 3D, all kinds of really cool art stuff. If you're an artist type person, you can call the number 096-772-7086. That's tomorrow. There's an art class in Ibarra, so please check that out. And that's what's going on.
You are listening to In Other Words.
Welcome, todos.
A house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home. By the cracks of his skin, I climbed to the top. I climbed the tree to see the world. When the guys came around to blow me down, held on as tightly as you held on me. Held on as tightly as you held on me.
Find us at www.radiopublicacotacachi.com. Listen to the special people who define Cotacachi here on Something to Talk About.
Yes, so we were listening to Bienvenidos. We were listening to Cinematic Orchestra, great band, and I want to dedicate that song to mi amigo Rodrigo Flores en La Calera and Liza and the home that I want to build there. So ya vamos con eso, ¿no? And so next, we're going to hear the first part of Don Eliser. He's the director of Parque Nacional Cochasqui, the Pirámides, and it's just a wonderful place, 84 hectares, donde estaban los Kitukaras, the ancestors of all us Ecuadorians were there building these pyramids. So we're going to listen to the first part of the interview, and then we'll come back after the commercial break and listen to part 2, so stay tuned.
Quienes construyeron estas pirámides es la cultura Kitucara. Son construcciones preincásicas. Para nosotros, los ecuatorianos, en esta cultura Kitucara están nuestras raíces, nuestra identidad, nuestra nacionalidad, porque es preinca. Corresponde al periodo de integración de la historia ecuatoriana, que va desde el año 500 después de Cristo hasta 1500, hasta la conquista española.
So these people here who built these pyramids were Kitukaras. They were not the Incas. The Incas were only here. Unos 70 años estaban aquí, ¿no? So they were even less time in the north. So people think that everything was done by the Incas, but these were Kitucara people who built these pyramids. And hace como, ¿cuántos años dijo? ¿500 años?
500 después de... periodo de integración 500 después de Cristo a 1500.
Okay, so 500 years to 1500 years ago, then this when these people were here, and then vinieron los incas, les conquistaron, ¿no?
Y todo este sector de las 84 hectáreas pertenecía a una hacienda. Los dueños de la hacienda cultivaron sobre las pirámides, hicieron pasar maquinaria sobre las pirámides. Luego vendieron este sector a una compañía inglesa, la Pirela, y esta compañía Pirela cultivó piretro sobre las pirámides. ¿Qué es el piretro? Es una flor, una variedad de margarita, de donde se obtiene la piretrina para hacer insecticidas, fungicidas.
Okay.
A pesar del trato que lo dieron, se puede ver la forma, la grandeza de las pirámides.
Okay, so this is a hacienda, which formerly a hacienda was belonged to a family here, and this 84 hectares used to belong to them, and then they ended up selling it to an English company, and that English company was cultivating flowers, margaritas, that then they used to make insecticide with. So that's what this was used for, and they were cultivating that here. And then, ¿hace cuándo compró el gobierno de Pichincha compró esta empresa?
Bueno, Patrimonio Nacional en el año de 1979 se vio en la obligación de rescatar este sitio. Pero desde el año de 1981 el gobierno de la provincia, el Consejo Provincial ahí, se hizo cargo del mantenimiento y la conservación.
So in 1979 and 1981 the government of Ecuador made this national site and bought this land to make this into a national park. So now if you come here, today it's a beautiful day, there's no one here, and we're really fortunate to have this nice tour. ¿Por qué es importante este parque para los ecuatorianos, para los extranjeros, for all people? Why is it such an important place?
Para los ecuatorianos y para los extranjeros es muy importante para conocer realmente las raíces verdaderas de nosotros los ecuatorianos, porque se trata de una cultura pre-inca.
Claro.
Entonces, desde ahí, ahora, para entender la importancia, ¿qué significa Cochasqui? Cocha es lago, Qui es mitad, lago de la mitad, o mitad de un lago.
Claro.
Para nuestros antepasados, en su concepción, en su cosmovisión, el cielo cuando estaba despejado era un gran lago.
Claro.
Y aquí la mitad. Pero ¿cómo sabían que estaba en la mitad del lago? En la mitad del mundo es mediante la observación, viendo por dónde sale el sol en las montañas. Por ejemplo, solsticio de verano, 21 de junio. El sol sale bastante al norte, sale por atrás de Nevado Callaca. En diciembre por Pambamarca.
So entonces, what he was saying was that this place is important because this is the pre-history of the Ecuadorian people. This is really where Ecuadorians come from, and for foreigners, they need to know that this is where this started. It's that we're not Inca people. This is not our heritage, and that this place is really important. And then here, Cochasqui, the word Cochasqui, es una palabra Kitucara.
Es una palabra Kitucara. Y además de eso es una mezcla también.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of a mezcla of Kitucara language, which means the middle of the lake, and so they considered the sky to be a big giant lake, and this is the middle of the world for them. And it's interesting because the sun comes up on the solstice behind Cayambe, no sube el sol.
Sí.
21 de junio.
Okay.
21st of June, which is the solstice. That's when the sun comes up in Cayambe. Y después
en diciembre por Pambamarca.
And in December por Pambamarca, which is another mountain, which I'll take pictures and we'll see.
En los equinoccios por el centro, pero en estos sitios había unos cilindros de 18 metros de diámetro por 7 metros de alto. Viene el sol en el momento que no existe sombra ni adentro ni afuera del cilindro. Era el fin de un año, comienzo de un nuevo año.
Ah, see, so they had cylinders of 18 meters high and 7 meters wide, and they would place that. And when there was no shadow at all, and they knew the sun was directly overhead, they knew that was the middle of the completing of 1 year cycle. And that's how they also became aware of that they were in the middle of the world. They were, without being, geographers and having GPS. Es una cosa tremenda que ellos supieron eso, ¿no?
Claro.
Se dieron cuenta.
Esto sucede justamente el 21 de marzo.
So 21st of March is this one ¿cómo se llama eso? ¿Es el 21 de marzo? ¿Es el qué?
El 21 de marzo es el equinoccio.
El equinoccio es el equinox, right? Claro.
Pero en ese recorrido del sol, nuestros antepasados lo hacían el Intihuatana. Lo amarraban, lo atrapaban al sol. ¿Cómo lo hacían? Con obsidiana, con vidrio volcánico, con ustedes atrapaban la energía del sol en leños y producían el Mushugnina, el nuevo fuego. Pero 3 días antes del 21 de marzo apagaban todos los fuegos de toda la región y consumían legumbres, hortalizas, y con este fuego atrapado en estos sitios era repartido al sector.
Okay, so on that day they would take the obsidian that had the heat of the sun and they would turn off all the fires in this region, and then they would go by and they would relight all these fires, and then they would have cosecha, they would have harvesting of the plants, and una fiesta, ¿no? Comiendo comida, claro.
Pero lo importante es que con este fuego cocían todas las ofrendas que traían en marzo.
Okay.
¿Qué nomás hay en marzo? Primero el zapallo, el sambo, el choclo, el melloco, la papa, la oca, el frijol, el chocho, camote. Cocían estos productos y hacían lo que hoy se conoce como fanesca.
Ah, okay. So in that day they would harvest pumpkin, mayoko, which is potato, corn, and they would and they would harvest them and make a big offering, chochos and beans, and they would make like what today the Ecuadorians call a fanesca, como una sopa de grano, ¿no? Like a grain
una
soup.
Sopa muy consistente de muchos granos.
Claro.
El nombre nativo es Uchucuta. Se lo hacía el 21 de marzo.
Okay.
Después de la conquista española, por marzo cae Semana Santa. Lo adaptaron a Semana Santa.
Oh, okay. So see, originally March 21st was the day they celebrated this cosecha, this harvesting, and then when the Spaniards came, of course, then they turned it into Holy Week, and that's when it became a different thing. But it's really originally Uchucuta is in Kitucara, and that means which is the sopa, ¿no?
La sopa se llama Uchucuta. Los españoles los llamaron fanesca. Todavía lo hacemos.
Claro.
En marzo, en Semana Santa se lo hace.
Semana Santa. In Holy Week, they still make that soup, but now they call it fanesca, but it's really es urchicuto, and so.
Bueno, hoy lamentablemente está un poco oscuro.
Sí.
De aquí se divisa casi toda la olla de Guayabamba, 280 grados de visibilidad. Wow. 17 nevados volcanes importantes.
So here, from where we're sitting, here you can see 280 degrees all around. You can see the Valle de Guayabamba. You can see 17 snow-capped volcanoes, which we named earlier. It's just a beautiful view. Today it's a little overcast, but I've been here on clear days. It's beautiful. Okay, we're coming to Pyramid 13, where you can see the Kangao blocks and the way it was constructed. And it's all covered with a sheet metal protected.
Le hablé que las pirámides eran construidas a base de escalones, a base de graderíos. Aquí podemos ver. El primer escalón es de bloques de Kangao. Los bloques son de 70 por 60 centímetros. Y el otro escalón es de tierra apisonada, es una tapia.
Okay.
Material apisonado.
Okay.
Bloques de Kangao, tierra apisonada.
So see, really ingenious. The first level, because these are, by blocks, the first level is Kangao. And then the next level, stage is pressed earth, lodo, ¿no?
Sí.
And then it's Kangao, and then earth, and Kangao, y así hacen, ¿no?
Sí, así alternativamente. Así
and the blocks are 70 by 60 centímetros, ¿no?
Sí, pero como podemos observar, los escalones son muy altos. Y nos damos cuenta que por aquí no subían las personas.
Okay.
Para eso estaba la rampa, solamente por la rampa iban a la parque.
So see, because these steps are so high, we can tell that nobody used these to actually use them as steps, as we would call them, but they were used more for other reasons, and that's why they had ramps. The ramps were where they accessed the pyramids, these long ramps of 200 meters.
Esta es la forma de construcción, pero a pesar de eso, el nivel de los escalones es un nivel perfecto. Para coger el nivel utilizaron la misma técnica que hoy utiliza el arquitecto, el albañil. Una manguera con agua.
Okay.
Un bejuco, material vegetal con agua, les permitió coger el nivel. La mejor forma de coger el nivel es con el agua. Utilizaron esa técnica.
Claro, so they used a hose with water, and that's what architects use now, is to find the level. That's how these things are so level. They use just a tube. ¿Y de qué era esa la manguera?
Material vegetal.
Yeah, so it was a vegetable. Yeah, it was made out of vegetable, this tube, and they would fill it with water, and that's how they would find the level. That's the best way to level things, with water. Water is a great thing to find level.
Entonces, esta es la forma de construcción. Vamos a ir a la parte alta a ver las plataformas, las planchas de
Okay.
You are listening to In Other Words.
Great. That was just part one. We're going to come back with Don Eliser, more with the pyramids. Fascinating conversation. You know, I went on the tour, and because of the wind, es un viento tremendo, ¿no? Entonces casi mucho no se escuchaba, pero gracias a el ingeniero Danielito, we were able to cut out the wind, and so, you know, we were able to just use most of that interviews. But there's a lot of stuff that we missed, but there's great stuff coming up in part two. And let me introduce this song by Bon Iver, Holocene. And I think you'll love this song. Check it out.
the hello bird. Above my brother and saying it's fine. Smoke the screen to make you what it was to be. And I don't know where it is right now. And once I knew I was not making for sure.
You are listening to In Other Words.
We're back. That was Bon Iver with Holocene. Man, I love that song. It's getting kind of cold, a little windy, kind of rainy almost, so great mood music. And I want to thank our sponsors. We have sponsors, and we're really fortunate to have some really great locations to go eat and spend time and hang out. And one of the first ones is Pandala Bakery and Vegan Restaurant on Rocafuerte. My good friend Yannick, I just love that guy. His food, he's just a great guy. He gets great muffins and hummus, falafels and rye bread, probably the best bread in Ecuador or in the world. And, you know, I just love eating there. He's got Tuesdays, he serves nutritious vegan meals, lunch, brunch, breakfast. And so go check him out. He's right there on Rocafuerte. He's also on Facebook, Pandala Cotacachi. And he's right across from La Tola de Rosario. You can't miss him. And just a wonderful bakery and great place and good food. Also, another one of our sponsors is Pandala, which is right down the street on 9 de Octubre, down the street from the bakery. And they have wonderful, it's a family-owned business, Nelly and Javier, and they have organic products, handicrafts, healthy organic, yogurts and milk and wine, and they have cheese, and they have all kinds of great stuff, books and personal care products. And also on Thursdays, those of you that know, they have some of the best pizza in the world by Patti. So go and have some pizza, go and check out their books, and check out Pan Prana, Energía Vital. We also want to thank our other sponsors, Carmen and Jairo over there at La Cuadra Hostal, which is right there in Modesto Peña Herrera, cerca de Matriz, Parque Matriz, and they have a wonderful place there. You can stay there. I stayed there when I first came to Cotacachi almost 2 years ago, and they have great breakfast, and they have a nice coffee shop. A lot of people meet. There's a writers group that meets there, and I just really recommend it. And if you want to know more about them, call them at 06-291-6015. And finally, for all of you who love animals, make sure you take your pets, your cats, your dogs to Woof Puppy Dog Grooming Pet Shop in Cotacachi. If you want to look for them on Facebook, just go to WOOF Woof Puppy.
Here is our number, 291-5146. In other words, give us a call. And we are back with Diego Velez on In Other Words.
Yeah, great. We're back with the second part of the interview with Don Eliser, the director of the Parque Cochasqui. So it's 20 minutes of just amazing information. So stay tuned.
Y observamos la parte posterior de las pirámides. La pirámide número 14, la de la fertilidad abajo. La pirámide número 13. Pirámide número 11. Esta número 9. La rampa que está en la parte posterior, esa lo hicieron cuando pertenecía a una hacienda.
Ah, okay.
Por ahí hicieron pasar el canal de riego, el agua, y lo erosionaron.
Oh, right. So from here you can see the pyramids 13, 9, 14, the fertility, and you can see the back of, you're sitting here looking at the back of the pyramids, looking out at the valley, and it's just really beautiful.
Las pequeñas, las 5, la más grande, la más conservada. Pero la pirámide número 5, vista desde el aire, tiene la forma de un escorpión.
Oh, sí, visto.
Y coincidentemente la constelación del escorpión, el 21, 22, 23, 24 de junio, se encuentra en la parte más alta, en el cenit.
So see, the pyramid, ese es 5, ¿no? Pyramid number 5, which is the best preserved one, is, if you see it from the air, it's in the form of a scorpion. And exactly 21, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of June, that's when you can see the Scorpio above, directly above that pyramid, you can see the constellation of Scorpio.
Produce su influencia energética, nuestros antepasados lo conocieron, lo percibieron, y esa es la pirámide del escorpión.
Interesting. So yeah, that's a scorpion. That's a scorpion. And if you see a picture of it, it looks like a scorpion with claws.
Nuestros antepasados se enterraron con todas las cosas importantes: utensilios, herramientas, alimentos, bebida, la chicha, porque creían que después de muertos iban a seguir bebiendo.
Claro, necesitaban esas cosas. Right. And the funeral mounds, he said, people were buried, because there's 21 funeral mounds here. People were buried with their chicha, with their tools, with their jewelry, with their clothes, with all their things, because they believed that those things they would need in the next life, and that's why they buried them with them. Okay, you're coming up to some of the houses that people live to. The Kitukara houses are really beautiful, made out of straw, and you just have to see them to believe them. It's beautiful.
Al entorno de la vivienda estaba la actividad agrícola.
So here we have the houses, but around the houses, you have agriculture areas where people grew their food and grew what they ate.
Practicaron el policultivo.
Polycultivated.
En un mismo sitio, diferentes plantas alimenticias y medicinales.
So in the same area, they had medicinal plants and also edible plants, all in the same area.
Estamos rescatando muchas plantas que ya no hay en el mercado, como la mashua, miso, jícama, sangorache, ataco, porotón. Estamos haciendo esto para indicar al visitante, decirles que nuestros antepasados tenían una buena alimentación.
So they're trying to reintroduce these plants that our ancestors ate, because these were really good for their health, and they're trying to bring these back, because you don't find these in the markets anymore.
Y una alimentación variada. Y que el Ecuador, América, hoy está dando de alimentar a la gente pobre de todo el mundo.
Claro. So South America now, in Ecuador, we're feeding the rest of the world because we have a variety of foods here.
La papa. Muchos países europeos, la base de la alimentación es la papa. Holanda, Alemania, mismo España.
Claro.
El maíz, para los seres humanos, para los animales, para el mismo ser humano.
Claro.
En todas las mesas en el mundo no puede faltar la papaya, la piña, el cacao, el babaco, la guayaba, guava, chirmoya, aguacate, quinoa, chocho, sambo, zapallo, oca, melloco, mashua, miso, el tomate riñón, el tomate de árbol.
So these are right. So these are all the foods that he's naming are the foods that they're feeding the people in the world, and they're coming from this area here, from the Imbabura, from the north, from the sierra.
Un tubérculo que se le cosecha, se le quita la corteza y se sirve.
Ah, okay, sí, claro. He's peeling a jicama.
Y ahora le hicieron buena propaganda para los triglicéridos, para el colesterol, para los diabéticos.
Jicama is good for diabetes, for cholesterol, and so we're just peeling a little piece of it today. We're going to try some jicama. Y eso creció aquí, ¿no? Es de aquí.
Esto es productos de aquí.
Claro.
Ya lo tenemos sembrado ya.
Okay.
¿Qué hace las veces de una fruta? Como la manzana, como la piña.
Oh, sweet. It's kind of like an apple. Sí, bien dulce, ¿no?
Sí, dulce, claro.
Really tasty. ¿Y eso se puede comprar en el mercado? Porque no he comido.
Ahora sí.
Okay.
En el Supermaxi ya lo venden ya preparado, picadito.
Oh, claro.
No se le consume para ensaladas.
Yeah, you can find this in Supermaxi, but it's really sweet. It's almost like an apple. And it's, it's a tuber. Man, it's wonderful.
Este tipo de vivienda rectangular es de la parte baja.
Okay.
De 3,000 metros de altura para abajo. La cubierta es de sixe. Y el medio natural mantiene la temperatura adecuada en la vivienda. El largo tiene 8 metros.
8 meters long.
6 metros.
6 meters.
Sí. Las paredes es del bareque.
Ah, bareque, ok. Que es como el adobe, más o menos.
No, el bareque consiste en maderos, bloques de cangagua, chocoto, barro con agua.
Sí.
Material inclusive orgánico.
Okay. So the walls here are made out of organic material. You see there's wood, and then mud and adobe-ish kind of stuff. And that's what really keeps the temperature really even side in here. It's not either hot or cold at 3,000 meters.
Esta combinación de madera, materiales terrosos, le da un sistema elástico, plástico, y estas son antisísmicas.
So they're really good because what happens is they're anti-seismic. So really, even if there's an earthquake, these buildings don't move because they're not stiff. In other words, they son flexibles, no se mueven.
Sí. Y un elemento importante es esto. Esto es la madera, el vástago floral que le crece al agave, al penco.
Oh, so this is from the agave plant, which is basically what they use in most, the trunks. Is the main part of the structure, which is the beams.
Toda la estructura es del chahualquero.
O chahualquero.
Que
es del agave.
Del agave. Right. Y la fibra con lo que se amarra es de la hoja del agave, del penco.
Right, so it's all this, even the material that's used to tie the bamboo to the agave, that's also from the agave. So it's really all these natural materials that they use here to build these structures. Now we're walking inside the living quarters.
Aquí está la cuyuna, una pequeña bodega donde guardaban productos que iban a consumir enseguida, máximo un mes. Productos para todo el año, era 15 años soberano.
Oh, okay, so they would hang food and their house had a small area, like a bodega, where they stored all their foods that would last for about a month.
La cama, el cahuito, la cuyuna, el camastro. Hecho de maderas de la zona, esteras de totora, pieles de animales.
So totora is the straw that you see in Laguna San Pablo, and then they had animal skins for their bedding.
La hamaca para hamacar al bebé.
And the hammock string hanging overhead, that's where they put the baby.
Esto es de la costa, el trueque, sierra, costa así.
Claro.
Pero del agave, tronco del penco y pieles de animales.
So they have a drum made out of agave and also animal skins, and then they have even conch shells that they traded with people on the coast. In the living quarters here, you can see the artifacts.
Todo lo que es de madera es de un árbol que se llama pumamaki. La hoja tiene la forma de mano de puma.
Okay.
Es dócil para el tallado. Platas de madera, cucharas de madera, artesas bateas, todo es de pumamaki.
So all the bowls are made out of puma madera, which has the leaf that looks like a footprint of a puma.
Los cántaros.
Okay, so those vessels.
Para llevar el agua, para los líquidos, para la chicha. Los pondos de diferente tamaño, unos para la chicha, para guardar el agua, para guardar granos. Este es del tronco del penco. Intestino blando de yamingo para cernir la chicha y la coladera.
Okay, so they had different size ceramic bowls, some for the water, some for the chicha, and some for storing their grain.
Esto es una calabaza de la parte de los valles, de la sierra.
Okay.
Por ejemplo, el chota. Sí, en las partes es la calabaza se le conoce como puro y es de diferente forma.
Claro.
Para guardar granos, para trasladar los líquidos.
Yeah, they also have gourds that they use that they got from the Chota Valley that they would use, to store grain, to put water, and to put chicha in.
El pilche es mucho más fino. Esto es de un árbol.
Okay.
Pero este es ya de la costa o del oriente.
Oh, okay, la pilche. Es un árbol, ¿no?
Es un árbol,
pilche es un árbol. They would make bowls.
Sí,
Eso es para tomar la chicha, ¿no?
Para tomar la chicha.
Yeah, they use those are drinking bowls to drink chicha from. And they also made spoons out of
El sitio más importante de la vivienda es la tulpa, el fogón. Acá viene la familia y comparten el calor del hogar.
So here's the tulpa, which is the living room. This is where they had the fire and people would sit and they would have fire here and they would eat and relax.
Que el fogón une a la familia, el humo endurece, permeabiliza la madera, en el canasto guarda la carne, con el humo se ahuma, se conserva la carne.
Okay.
Fue el sitio más importante porque une a la familia, conserva la vivienda, conserva los alimentos.
So this is the most important part of the home because here draws everyone together to be here, and also the smoke sort of preserves the building material and dries the wood and also dries the meat, and so this is a really important part of the home for everybody to gather here to eat and to just relax and eat.
Todos estos implementos, elementos es del pumamaki, platos de madera, cuchara, la mama cuchara, los para tostadores, es de pumamaki.
Yeah, so the Puma marca, they made a lot of wooden spoons, and so that's where you stir the food, and also we were saying with women's liberation also became that with it, they smack the men in the head with, which is pretty funny.
El madero principal es el lechero, árbol de la vida.
Árbol de la vida is what the second is a round home, and the other one we were in was rectangular. So this one has the árbol de la vida, which is in the middle, en la mitad, ¿no?
En la mitad,
claro.
Sí. Ese árbol se le corta, se lo lleva a otro sitio, se lo planta, se construye la vivienda y sigue creciendo.
So the way they're constructed is they get the árbol de la vida, which has kind of these green leaves, and you cut it and you plant it in the middle of where you want your home, and it grows right through the roof, and then you build a home around it, and it's round.
El orégano de dulce.
Oh, okay, el orégano. Oregano, really sweet.
Que utilizan inclusive para alinear el pescado.
Some sweet oregano, some salty oregano, and some cedrón, which is growing here. Beautiful. I'm getting ready to enter the museum, which is really beautiful and small.
El sitio está construido con materiales nativos, materiales tradicionales. Las paredes cangawa.
The walls are made of cangawa, right?
Material que utilizaron para hacer las pirámides. Por dentro tallado, por fuera de forma natural, unido a pochocoto por el barro. La parte alta del carrizo, animados con fibras del penco, el cabullo y el agave.
So this pyramid, this museum is built with all natural materials. Got the same materials the pyramids were made out of, and the roof and everything is made with agave and the beams. And so you find in here ceramics, and you find people's skeletons and just amazing things.
En todo lo que es posible se utiliza materiales nativos. El arqueólogo alemán Albert Meyer estudió la cerámica de Cochasqui, divide Cochasqui en dos etapas, en dos periodos. A propósito, eso se le conoce como churumbela, porque dentro se le pone fuego y con el viento se conserva el fuego adentro. Se preserva el fuego adentro.
Y se puede cargar
en un lugar. Llevar el fuego por largas distancias. Sí, ese es
interesante.
Es del cactus de Huagra.
So here there was two periods. El primero era de esta parte, ¿no?
Sí, entonces se dividió en Cochasqui 1, entonces es un poco tosca, rudimentaria, poca pintura, detalle. Y la utilitaria es esta, que sirve para cocer alimentos.
So there's two eras. The first era, you see the ceramics are very basic and there's not much paint on them. They're just really very utilitarian for cooking and making food.
El proceso de cocinar alimentos representa la germinación de una semilla. Cuando los productos supuestamente estaban germinados, los productos estaban cocidos o supuestamente estaban germinados, ha germinado, cogían de la raíz y llegaban los alimentos en los platos. Porque todo lo que hacía tiene una explicación.
Claro, so everything, even the shape of the ceramic bowls, is the germination of the plants and then cooking them and then putting them in your bowl.
Forma de las pirámides, como era en su forma original, la base de escalones, graderíos, las plataformas, la rampa, hoy se puede ver en esta forma, cubierta de tierra y de césped.
Claro, here there's a representation, a model of the pyramids that where they looked before. They were covered with dirt and grass and with the ramps and with the steps and with the solar and lunar calendars. It's pretty amazing.
Esa osamenta que está ahí corresponde a una mujer y la preservación se debió a que lo enterraron en ceniza volcánica. En un material conocido como pushi. Un tipo de silicato le ayuda a la preservación, a la conservación.
So here we have a skeleton of a woman who was buried in volcanic ash to preserve her bones. And ¿de qué edad más o menos se piensa que era?
45 años.
46 years old, 45 years old.
Con el ajuar.
Claro. Y eso lo encontraron aquí.
Y en posición fetal, sí. En la parte, pasa un canal de riego por un túnel. Y a la salida del túnel se le encontró.
So she was found near here, and she was found like this with all the things that she was buried with. There was quite a few people. She was a 45-year-old woman.
Cerámica Cochasqui 2, más trabajada, más elaborada, diferente detalle, diferente forma. Y le dan una coloración rojiza.
Okay.
Para dar la coloración rojiza utilizan cerámica que contiene bastante hierro. El hierro le da la coloración rojiza.
So then you see the other part of Cochasqui 2, which was a different type of ceramic. Now they're using color from iron, and there's different shapes, and it's a little more elaborate. But it's still really beautiful. But it's not so basic. It's a little more decorative, and they have. Parece que están decorando aquí, ¿no?
Sí, decorando. Tienen formas inclusive de frutas, como la piña.
So it's shaped in the shape of fruit and food.
Aquí el otro producto es la chirmoya.
Okay.
Sí, ya lo vamos a ver, sí. Esta cerámica es utilitaria Cochasqui 2, la olla trípode. Conserva la forma de Cochasqui 1, pero en Cochasqui 2 lo ponen patitas, sin necesidad de poner sobre piedras o bloques de cangagua, cocían los alimentos.
So you see here in this Cochasqui 2, they have the same forms, but now they have little legs on them, 3 legs, and they're a little more elaborate.
La cerámica que está en este museo, la mayor parte fue hecha, fabricada aquí en Cochasqui por la cultura quitucara. Pero hay cerámica que está por trueque, por intercambios comerciales.
So most of the ceramics you find here in this museum was manufactured here by the Quitucaras, but there's some of it that came through trueque, which is the bartering system where people traded, people in la costa o otros lugares, no, from other places.
Por ejemplo, las dos primeras es cerámica cuasmalotusa, proviene del sur de Colombia, del Carchi, está por trueque, por intercambios
comerciales. So there's ceramics that are in the museum that came from Carchi, from Colombia, that were traded, y les llevaban otras cosas, era un intercambio, ¿no?
Right. Y segundo escalón es cerámica Cosanga Pillero, es del oriente ecuatoriano.
Ah, okay.
Igual está por trueque, por intercambios
So on
comerciales.
the second level here, you have things that came from the Oriente, which are different people traded the ceramics from here with their, whatever intercambio, the trueque, which is called the bartering system.
Y la más representativa está ahí, en 2-3 milímetros de espesor, el colorido, el detalle es la más representativa.
So that's more from the Oriente. Muy interesante, diferente, ¿no?
Aquí una máscara que representa la forma de consumir la hoja de coca.
Ah, okay.
Todas las culturas americanas conocieron y consumieron la hoja de coca, también la cultura mexicana.
Claro. And here you have a mask showing the way they consumed coca, which was consumed by all the Americas. People were taking coca leaves.
En especial, ¿quiénes lo hacían? El cacique, el curaque, el chamán, el chasqui, el mensajero para cruzar los páramos, para el frío, el cansancio, la sed, la fatiga.
Claro. And they used it mostly the shamans, for the cold, for curing things, and it was used in those forms.
Utiliza cerámica ceremonial. Por lo general, la cerámica introducida lo utiliza más como cerámica ceremonial.
Most of this ceramic was used for ceremonial purposes, and that's the way it was introduced.
Las compoteras, ollas doble, macho, hembra, y los fondos de fatumangas, ollas grandes, que sirve para hacer la chicha, guardar el agua, guardar los granos. Pero nuestros antepasados también utilizaron como ánforas funerarias para enterrarse a las personas en posesión fetal.
Ah, okay. So also some of these large ceramic vessels were used for burying people in the fetal position.
Una canción que nos cuenta la forma del entierro.
¿Cómo se llama esta canción?
La vasija de barro.
Ah, okay. So this song is talking about how they bury people in clay.
Como lo enterran la gente.
En el vientre.
Interesante, ¿no?
Sí, la forma de entierro. Esta canción es una inspiración nacional.
Claro.
Y que se escucha en los museos de Perú, Bolivia, Centroamérica, México, pero es una inspiración nacional. La forma de entierro.
So you see this giant thing where people would be buried is a giant ceramic thing almost, ¿qué es como de qué tamaño es de altura?
Esto es de 1.20 m.
Okay, so 1.20 m, so it's really high. It's almost like, what'd you say, 4 feet? And so basically that people would be buried in there in a fetal position. Okay.
El diablo huma, que tiene dos caras y 12 cuernos. Cada cuerno debe tener un color, cada color representa un mes, 12 meses del año.
Ah, okay.
Dos caras, día, noche, bueno, malo, negativo o positivo. Todas las personas somos buenas, somos malas. Representa la dualidad.
Y esto viene de la Quito Caras.
Antes no se llamaba Diablo Huma, se llamaba Aya Huma.
Aya Huma, ok.
Que llevaba el hombre sabio. El que dictaba las normas, organizaba la comuna. El que daba las normas, las leyes. Pero a este era el representativo, era el que sobresalía, el que le obedecía al pueblo. Cuando vino la conquista española, a este personaje importante tocaba ponerle en segundo plano. Entonces, no darle la importancia que tenía porque a él le seguía.
Claro.
Le llamaron el Diablo Huma. En una misma persona, dos fuerzas, el bien y el mal.
Okay. So the mass that we're looking at here is we call it Diablo Huma, and that was originally the leader of the community. But then when the Spanish came, of course, they gave him a different name, as Diablo Huma, so he was secondary.
Trabajaron la piedra. El nombre nativo de la piedra es de Rumi. La piedra grande, la mamá Rumi, la piedra pequeña, la guagua Rumi, para moler el maíz, para moler el borocho, la balaquino.
The grinding stones, the mama Rumi y la mama Rumi y el guagua Rumi.
Sí, el guagua Rumi.
Yeah, so there's the grinding the stones, grinding the grain.
Para moler el achote, el ají, el ajo.
Claro.
Otras más pequeñas molían la hoja de coca. La hoja de coca lo molían con la cal o la ceniza de la leña para que pierda el amargo la coca y sea una especie de coca procesada.
So the coca was also ground down with charcoal, and then that would take away the bitterness.
Obsidiana, vidrio volcánico, vidrio natural o gas volcánico. Son núcleos grandes. Mediante percusión o golpe lo dan diferentes formas, diferentes instrumentos. Nos toman la forma de cuchillos, puntas de lanza, flechas, raideras, raspadoras.
So the obsidian was used for different things, and it would strike it, and it would form either arrowheads or cutting stones and just beautiful things. Y eso viene por aquí, ¿no?
La mina más grande de obsidiana está al frente en el Cerro Puntas. Es la mina más grande, digamos, en Latinoamérica. Son enormes las rocas. ¿Sí?
Okay.
Estos conos de piedra son originales, que estaban en las plataformas en triangulación, producen sombras de acuerdo a las sombras hicieron los calendarios.
These in here, you see the original cones that were found in the lunar calendar and the solar calendar, and they're really beautiful because they're just cylindrical cones.
Instrumentos de hueso de llama, los pingulios.
Pingulios made out of llama bones, right?
De hueso de llama. La ocarina, un instrumento de cerámica de sonido muy dulce, muy armonioso. Y las hachas de piedra de diferente mineral, para los diferentes trabajos o usos diarios.
Claro.
Y también unos utilizaron para intercambios como especie de monedas.
Claro. So then here you have, instruments made out of llama bones and also ceramic pingulios and also rocks that were used for different minerals, and they were used for trading with other people.
Check out our program page for In Other Words on Radio Pública Cotacachi.
Yes, that was part 2 de Don Eliser de Cochasqui, Los Pirámides, and so we want to thank him, and I want to introduce this third song, Korean band Sing Sing, and remind you that tune in next week. We'll have even more cool stuff.
가자
listening to In Other Words.
Thank you for being here. That was In Other Words, and we want to thank one of our new sponsors, La Tola de Rosario. We're offering almuerzos. I had some great sancocho there today, and I'll be organizing a trip to the pyramid. So let me know if you're interested. We'll go on public buses. It'll be super fun, and we'll stop in Cayambe, have almuerzo. So tune in next week. We'll have another great show. Y bienvenidos a mis primos y todos mis amigos y hermanos. Chao, chao.
Thank you for listening to our program. In other words, we will see you again next Friday at the same time, 4 p.m. on Radio Publica Cotacachi, 93.5 FM.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship